Introduction. Romanian minimal music has been a part of the underground music community for the past 2 decades. Many people are aware of it, find it fascinating, and listen to it daily. However, not many people know how it started, the crucial decisions and steps in development, and what shaped the music we know today. This documentary aims to uncover the origins of this scene and its evolution into what it is today. In order to understand this type of music, it's important to explore the various subgenres that attract dedicated fans from around the world. Minimal is a unique subgenre within underground electronic music with an interesting history. When it first emerged, minimal music was unlike anything people had heard before. Despite it being rooted in house and techno, which are familiar to many listeners, to gain a deeper understanding of minimal music, an article called Minimal House Music Guide, History, Artists, and Songs by 6 a.m. can give us a more in-depth perspective on the genre. Minimal house is a subgenre of house music with a devoted global audience. It blends elements from electro, garage, IDM, early Detroit techno, and places an emphasis on quality over quantity. Tracks feature minimal elements, spatial sound placement, and a gradual hypnotic progression. It is also known as micro house and encompasses funky bass lines, panned effects, 80s-style synth leads, sci-fi pads, and minimal, clean drum progressions. Minimal house and minimal techno have similarities but also distinct differences. Minimal techno features harsh, brute sounds, while minimal house is groovier with more swing in the bass lines and percussion. Minimal house generally operates at a slower BPM, while minimal techno can reach a higher BPM levels. Both styles enrapture the listener with futuristic, hypnotic bliss. Other styles of minimal house follow a similar framework, with limited elements that develop over time. Effects like reverb, delay, contribute to creating tension and release.
Over the past 2 decades, the music has continued to evolve, and the scene is growing at an unexpectedly rapid pace. Numerous festivals, both small and large, are being organized, all featuring the same distinctive sound. Sunwaves is a prime example of the scale these events can reach. But there are many other significant festivals dedicated to this type of electronic music. Some other examples of festivals in Romania include Mircea in Cluj-Napoca, Three Smoked Olives in Brașov, Dor de Munte, also in Brașov, holiday mood, which is held in various locations across Romania. Thanks to the insights provided by Accelerator's article, titled A Deep Dive into the Present and the History of Romanian House and Techno, along with an interview I conducted with Vlad Caia, I have managed to compile some facts about our music scene. Cătălin Ghinea, Tati, and Sunrise, 1999. Cătălin Ghinea has played a pivotal role in Romania's electronic music movement through his company, Sunrise Booking. Ghinea, a charismatic figure known as Tati, started Sunrise in 1999. Born in 1974, Cătălin Ghinea started from modest beginnings, working as a bartender before moving into sales and marketing. His job required extensive travel, which helped him build connections with club owners and immerse himself into Bucharest's burgeoning electronic music scene. Recognizing the talent of DJs like Raul, Rosare Internulo, and Radu, Ghinea began promoting these artists. In 1999, Ghinea founded Sunrise Booking, driven by a vision to create a unique organization to club and party. Initially, an underground operation relying on his personal network, Sunrise was a labor of love with modest fees for DJ performances. Ghinea balanced his day job with promoting events, often traveling over 1 million kilometers between 1996 and 2001. Sunrise Booking grew steadily, expanding its roster to include both underground and commercial DJs. By 2004, Ghinea left his day job to focus entirely on Sunrise, organizing popular events featuring international artists. In 2007, financial setbacks occurred as some commercial artists left, but this allowed Ghinea to focus on a core group of passionate young DJs. Cătălin Ghinea's dedication transformed Sunrise Booking into a central player in Bucharest's minimal music scene, promoting local talent and bringing international recognition to Romanian electronic music scene. Radu Bogdan Cilinca, also known as Radu, was born in Galați in 1975 and became a pivotal figure in Romania's post-revolution electronic music scene. Starting in the 90s at Club A in Bucharest, he gained fame for his DJ sets and weekly radio shows by the early 2000s. Despite his legendary status and significant influence, Radu remains an enigmatic and reclusive icon, avoiding media interaction and maintaining a low public profile.
Ce înseamnă, băi, să fii DJ, de fapt? Ce înseamnă să uite, vii la mare și toată noaptea stai și pui muzică în timp ce ceilalți se distrează și de fapt nu mai la mare, peste tot se întâmplă același lucru.
Eu mă distrez adică muncesc și mă distrez. Poate sunt unul dintre oamenii fericiți.
Te distrezi tot timpul, ca
mă distrez muncind. Da. Ce înseamnă să fii DJ? Înseamnă să alegi anumite piese prin care tu creezi o stare, având în vedere că muzica pe care noi o promovăm nu prea ține de hituri, deci nu are nicio legătură. E pur și simplu o construcție de piese mixate între ele care se oferă o anumită stare.
Recognizing Ghinea's business skills, Radu encouraged him to manage his DJ career. marking the beginning of Guinea's unofficial role as a tour manager. Their numerous travels across Romania laid the groundwork for what would become a thriving artistic community. Radu envisioned creating an artistic community that had been missing in the early post-communist years of Bucharest. He sought a collective where individuals focused on supporting each other and promoting underground electronic music. This community was built on values of collaboration and mutual benefit, where members prioritized the collective good over personal gain. Radu believed in working with like-minded individuals to achieve a greater goal, fostering an environment where everyone's efforts contributed to the community's success. Radu's efforts, along with Guinea's organizational skills, helped shape a supportive and collaborative music scene. Their commitment to pushing the boundaries of electronic music created a vibrant community that continues to influence the global music landscape. Radu's legacies lies not only in his music, but also in his dedication to building a community that thrives on shared values and collective growth. RPR, Radu, Petre Inspirescu, Rareș. Rareș Ionuț Iliescu, a.k.a. Rareș, and Radu Dumitru Bodiu, a.k.a. Petre Inspirescu, were early collaborators with Radu. Rareș, known for his huge knowledge of music, started DJing in Bacău before moving to Bucharest in 2003 to study chemical engineering. He soon joined Guinea's Sunrise Agency, dropping out of school in 2006 to focus on music full-time. Petre Inspirescu, from Brăila, connected with Radu through a residency at Web Club in Bucharest. Together with Radu, they formed the DJ collective RPR, Radu, Pedro, Rareș, and started the label approximately in 2006-07 that became central to the Romanian minimal electronic music scene. The trio was joined by others like Cezar Lazar, El Cezere, who runs the record label Understand and booking agency Our Own.
În același timp luase ființă și distribuția din România, care se numește Auron, distribuția de vinil, care a fost creată de Cezar Lazar, de Cezar. El Cezere.
Along with Șerban Guanta, a.k.a. Cozo, Florin Cuntan, a.k.a. Prâslea, Barac Nicolae, a.k.a. Barac, and Adrian Nicolae, a.k.a. Pricu. Many relocated to Bucharest to be part of this burgeoning community. Guinea's Sunrise Agency became the hub, attracting more like-minded artists and evolving into a communal platform in Romania's otherwise sparse musical infrastructure.
Și pe atunci, în același timp, deci când s-a făcut schimbarea de la progresiv, a apărut și zona de minimal, adusă de Radu și Ricardo și cred că mai mult Radu, el a fost promotorul mai important, să zic.
The introduction of broadband internet in the mid-2000s allowed Romanian DJs to access and exchange a wider variety of music. This influence of progressive house music from Europe and trips to Ibiza, where minimal techno was popular, shaped the Romanian sound. Radu and Petra brought back records and ideas from Ibiza, integrating them into the Bucharest scene. With its long hypnotic tracks and steady groove, suited Romania's lax licensing laws, allowing for extended parties and more gradual musical narrative. This collaborative and innovative community of Romanian DJs and producers, driven by a shared value and passion for music, established a unique and influential minimal electronic music scene. The Romanian sound gained international recognition with the community's collective efforts and shared insularity, contributing to its distinct and cohesive musical identity. The Romanian sound. Micro house, also known as minimal techno, is renowned for its minimalist sound marked by stripped-down aesthetics, repetitive patterns, and subtle progressions. Unlike traditional house music, micro house employs clicks, static glitches, and brief noise fragments instead of conventional kick drums and hi-hats. Although this genre did not originate in Romania, Romanian DJs and producers have elevated it into an art form. This Romanian variant, often referred to as ro-minimal, blends techno and house with a unique touch of dark and deep Romanian vibes. By 2007, a distinct Romanian musical style had emerged from within this micro house framework. Characterized by minimal, subtle, and ethereal tracks, the Romanian sound was shaped by the community's shared production technique and collaborative environment. Despite claims of no unified style, these common methods and beat structures contributed to a cohesive sound. The country's isolation and limited access to international music during the 2000s further reinforced this aesthetic as artists exchanged music and production techniques, solidifying this unique ro-minimal identity.
Depinde, nu știu, eu, dacă e să o iau așa minimal adevărat, mi se pare că e un pic prea... Acum ce puțin acum o văd că e un pic prea dark și un pic tunel așa, mai... zici că intri într-un tunel de mină. E, pe tipul de sunete sau de sound design mi se pare că e interesantă. Că sunt mulți artiști care folosesc tot felul de voci, tot felul de înregistrări, nu știu, field recordings. Țin minte că Radu a făcut o piesă, nu mai știu la care piesă, avea un sunet de kick sau de snare care suna super mișto și într-un anumit fel și colegul meu Chris l-a întrebat, păi și cum ai făcut de sunetul ăla? Am luat recordul și am bătut, nu știu, cu mâna într-un dulap sau ceva și... Știi? Și poate mai e și partea alaltă care poate vine de la noi, pe la noi tot timpul muzica a fost mai cântată pe synth-uri, mai cu acorduri, mai pe bași care sunt mai jucăuși cumva. Sunt unii care au luat și influențe pe zona asta și sunt unele piese care au armonii și asta e mișto, asta putea să descriu, melodioasă, cumva armonică și melodioasă. Deci, oricum, dacă e să le pui asta pe hârtie și la sfârșit sunt niște chestii contradictorii, se bat cap în cap, știi? Pe o parte intri în mare darkness și în tunelul de mină te duci la minat pe întuneric și pe partea cealaltă îți dă cu niște armonii și cu niște melodii.
Here is a list of the top 5 songs to introduce someone to ro-minimal, inspired by a well-written article by Alyssa Stolman for Electronic Beats. Entitled A 10-Track Beginner's Guide to ro-minimal, the underground tech house sound of Romania. In this article, Stolman eloquently explains why each track on the list deserves its place there. The story of ro-minimal begins with RPR. Their label's inaugural release serves as a seminal introduction to the genre. This release embodies the essence of reMinimal, showcasing a dogmatic approach to minimalism inspired by Villa-Lobos. It features meditative loops, clicky drums, swinging bass lines, and subtle emotive pads that gradually emerge from the low end. This foundational offering sets the stage for subsequent releases and captures the core characteristics of reMinimal.
Petre Inspirescu, The Bow, RPR 01. Dragne made a name for himself in the reMinimal landscape early on when he released his first solo EP on the Frankfurt minimal tech house label Be Chosen in 2008. He had previously contributed a track to a various artists compilation on RPR the year before. This is his original interpretation of the release. Dragne, just music. Dragne original interpretation.
This ain't no hype. It's not a gimmick. Bullshit ass. Monster child for some shit you didn't do. Sucking the soul out of it. Watering it down.
Adrian Nicolae, also known as Pricu, made a significant impact in just 4 years by releasing tracks on major labels such as All In, Pressure Tracks, and EastEnders. However, it is his work on the RPR catalog that stands out. As the owner of Motif and Atypic labels, he infused La Patinoteca with the intricate details that are characteristic to Romanian sound. The subtle pops and crisp crackles created three-dimensional quality. Pricu, La Patinoteca, RPR 2012. The Andromeda label released Vid's Legacy and Lent as a limited edition run, but it's still available at a reasonable price on Discogs marketplace. This track is a prime example of the familiar kick pattern characteristics of Romanian minimal music, with a notable emphasis on the first half of the measure, imparting a swing and skipping momentum to the 4x4 rhythm. What truly sets Legacy apart is the dynamic, undulating bass line, which exerts a continuous pressure that intensifies and diminishes rather than following a specific pattern. Vid, Legacy. Amor, Blending Light, 2017, is one of the most classical pieces of the last decade. But since we have an interview with Vlad Caia, we will let him tell us more about this piece.
Nu m-a luat pur și simplu nașterea Amor, știi? S-au trecut prin niște etape. Și eu la un moment dat am făcut performance live. Am avut, nu știu, 2-3 ani de zile în care am făcut, nu eram DJ, făceam live. Și toată experiența asta adunată în proiectul meu solo live și sit live a rezultat Amorf. Și Amorful de fapt era pe ideea ca noi doi să mai aducem pe cineva în formula live și să fie ca o formație, să fie formație de fapt. Și nu știu cum s-a nimerit, dar în același timp Cristi era pe Facebook și îl vedea pe Mircea Blanos, că el stătea la Berlin. Atunci îl vedea pe Mircea Blanos cântând la pian și cred că el făcea și încă mai face, dar avea un set și electronic cumva cu niște chestii acustice și electronice și suna destul de bine, mai de dans. Și m-a întrebat, îl cunosc pe Mircea, Cristi cunoștea pe Mircea din școală, la conservator, și a zis dacă am fi interesat să-l cunoaștem și a vorbit cu el, Mircea a fost de acord. I-am luat bilet de avion și a venit în România. A venit Mircea în București, între timp Cezar Radu, toată colectiva aia și construise studioul, își făcuse studioul ca lumea cu spațiu de tras chestii live și acolo am tras primul album Amorf. A venit Mircea, ne-am văzut toți trei, hai să dăm drumul la recording, nici nu știam așa bine. Și tot a fost o improvizație și un jam session și așa a luat naștere și primul album Amorf. Noi când tragem muzică sau când înregistrăm chestii live, noi nu le dăm titluri deocamdată. Noi le numerotăm, track 1, track 2, track 3 și după așa fac și eu. După încerc să găsesc un meaning, un concept, un titlu care e reprezentativ și mie îmi place la toată muzica și toate titlurile, la toate piesele și ritmurile care le-am, toate semnifică câte ceva. Nu e un titlu pus aleatoriu. Toate au ceva, o semnificație în spate. Poate să fie mai personală, poate să fie mai, știi? Și tot timpul încerc să le fac să fie într-un concept, să fie conceptual, știi? Și la fel, Blending Light, cred că e Mircea a venit cu titlul Blending Light, 100%, facă ții minte. Și Marquis of Dust, titlul ăsta de pe album, la fel, tot el a venit cu titlul ăsta. Da, astea sunt trase la Cezar la studio, pe o pianină dezacordată. Era așa de dezacordată că a trebuit noi să turnăm instrumentele noastre, synth-urile mai jos, ca să se sincronizeze. Și atunci a trebuit noi să facem, le ziceam Mircea, ia o nota la de acolo de la tine și după ureche. Ok, acolo suntem. Și da, am tras sesiunea la ei, nu știu, am tras în 2-3 zile. Deci tot materialul brut, raw, care a fost tras în 2-3 zile și după s-a stat pe producție. S-a editat, s-a tăiat, s-a aranjat destul de mult timp.
It's essential to consider different perspectives, especially from outsiders. People who are not from Romania will have a unique viewpoint. While this isn't a significant barrier for them, I have suggested interviewing my good friend Nils Weimann to understand his thoughts on our music scene, our sounds, and his penchant for collaborating with numerous Romanian artists. Nils, along with his friend Martin, operates the esteemed vinyl label Subtil Records. Over the past few years, they've released a considerable number of projects featuring Romanian artists.
The label Star is like a reason behind a long friendship. We know Martin and me are behind the label, and we know us since kindergarten. So it's like a true friendship, and we was growing together. We start everything together, learning, swimming. I don't know. So we are in the same school class, and at least we like the same music. And so this was the reason to start the label 11 years ago. To be honest, my second living room was like Robert Johnson in the past. So, and I listening to Brasla and to Rares. There was like also like kids and nobody knows them. And this was the first time in my hometown where I was like, wow, what kind of music is that? You know, in the past everyone was playing like techno music like Sven Wade or Gregor Trascha or guys like this, and this was a completely new music for me to listen in this, and this was like music from my heart and from my soul, and I was listening for this music the first time. So, and then after this night together with Rares, I think it was Rares and Ricardo, he plays the warm-up for Ricardo, and I was starting to search music like this, but it was impossible to find a music in this sound. So, and this was for me like, wow, it's completely new for me. Everything was new and no techno and really warm sounds, and I feel like a really strong story behind this music, and it was really hard to find on this time to find music like this. Also, like I was not connected with like any Romanian artists during this period. I was more like connected with guys from Frankfurt and this main area like Mannheim, Oslo, or this label Oslo, or another label was like Cecil Records. So yeah, but I feel like this, and I was starting then to, so we're starting to found people who like this music, to play this music, and also like Martin, he feel like also the same. To be honest, the favorite release is the 001. The guys from Frak, it's as I told you right now in the first question, is like Jupuk and Vladradu is the project from them, and nobody knows them or in this project, only a couple of friends from Romania, and they give us really nice tracks. So and this is one of my favorites, still one of my favorites. It's like 12 years ago, and where we signed these tracks, and these are still my favorite one. I also play them mostly like every weekend, so yeah. For me, was like my I visit guest house, and it was the old guest house, and it was like also like wow, because I meet many friends there, and I had a trip to Bucharest, so during Christmas and during New Year's Eve, and I played in a off location together with Mihai. I think the club called Cooperativa or Cooperativa, something Cooperativa. And the next day I went to the New Year's Eve to guest house, and it was like, yeah, amazing party there with a lot of friends from Romania where I meet during the last years, and also some new friends. And yeah, my big experience was 2022, where I played the first time in guest house. It sounds even much better as in my studio. So you hear every frequencies, everything is on top. I don't have any noises after the party in my ears. So it was like a perfect clean mixing, and this was for me like one of the best experience, definitely, to have this chance to play music there, and everything sounds different in guest house as in other clubs, because you hear like in your living room, or much better. Music for the soul, for the heart, with bass, with a lot of long story behind. Music where everybody can move their ass, no stressful sounds. If you're listening a set from the beginning to the end, it's like better as any holidays. It's like a music journey.
Printing the culture. Certain technologies, whether new or existing, are often the subject of debates within specific music communities. The term authenticity is frequently used to define what certain insiders consider to be real or valuable to their musical practices. Additionally, as Gilbert and Pearson point out in discographies, some types of music or sounds are perceived by some as cold, mechanical, and lifeless, while other forms may seem to be emotive, warm, and authentic, despite the fact that they utilize just as much technology in their production. This contradiction is resolved by establishing a hierarchy within technology.
Vinyl records have played a significant role in our community, especially in a digital age where music is easily accessible. When an artist who is also a vinyl collector performs a set in front of an audience, it rarely disappoints, mainly because some of these tracks cannot be found in the digital format. The exclusive way to share these songs with the audience is through vinyl, and it almost always creates a unique experience. Nils graciously shared insights into how vinyl records are produced for his label in Germany, offering a glimpse into the fascinating world of these techniques.
It's a really long process right now during the years, so a lot of things changed also during this COVID situation. There's no many like plastic, and the pressing companies taking so many times right now to from the masters to the finished product. And what I can say is every vinyl release where we do is like different. Once time the stickers are wrong on the wrong side, then there's a noise in the mastering. So it's a really long process. So you're starting like to collect to sign tracks, of course. Then you do a mastering for vinyl, also like digital. These are two parts, and it's different with frequencies, because if you make it analog, so this is different to make it the press as a digital file, because a digital file is more like harder in the high frequencies. So, and you need like more like a different mastering. So, and after this, you the master engineer, they do a mother vinyl. So they call it rolling. So and they start everything from this, and then we get the test pressing, and after the test pressing we give our okay. So and then they can start with the production. So
The next loop. It is worth noting that the electronic music scene in Romania, known as Romanimal, is relatively small but highly esteemed by tourists in the underground community rather than the general public. Accessibility has been a challenge. As Romanian music isn't easily accessible, individuals have to actively seek it out. Additionally, this music style isn't mainstream and may not appeal to everyone.
In the present day, there are nearly 100 talented Romanian artists who are taking their unique interpretation of Romanian sound on international tours. The Sunrise Booking Agency exclusively represents over 40 of these artists, including well-known names like Andrei Ciubuc, Arapu, Kali, Cap, Cosmin, Crihan, Dan Andrei, Daptil, Gescu, Herodot, Cozo, Mihai, Nuzău, Petrin Spirescu, Prâslea, Rareș, Pricu, Sep, and Suciu. Additionally, there are many others promising artists on the horizon. In recent years, Electric Castle, a massive music festival held in Bonțida, Cluj, has introduced a dedicated stage specifically for this kind of music. Additionally, Untold, the biggest festival in Romania, who was also ranked as the third in DJ Mag's Top 100 festivals for 2024, have started to feature artists like Pricu Back to Becarapu, Sid, Cezar, Prâslea, Mihai, and Charlie on their Galaxy stage. In my discussions with various artists, we consistently reflected on a particular phenomenon that emerged during the pandemic. People began to rediscover the essence of small gatherings, local communities in different cities, and intimate gigs among friends. This resurgence reflected the early stages of this cultural movement. As a result, certain types of music gained popularity, while the younger generations also introduced new sounds. These developments maintained the foundation of the underground Romanian music scene, incorporating fresh elements and inspiration from the perspective of younger individuals. Is this the beginning of a new era for Ro Minimal? Will there ever be an end to it? From what we've learned so far about music, no matter the outcome, for me, there is one phrase that will always stand out, regardless of what. Music is timeless. It gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. Thank you for your attention.